At Baidyanath, what we have done is that we haven't lost the ethos of the traditional way of making medicines, and the way it was. Yeah, they are supposed to be made. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. We make this famous Chyawanprash.
Right.
Now the steps in Chyawanprash are quite a lot, but there are a few steps right at the beginning, like washing, cleaning, pulping, de-seeding. All that we have mechanized. Because they can be mechanized.
Okay.
But then there is a hardcore process in between where you have to actually make the Chyawanprash, which has to be done at a certain temperature, and done by a certain wood, cut from a certain tree.
Oh,
so
wow.
that is still done by hand. So we have mixed both. We have mechanized as well as possible. Then after it is manufactured, then the entire packaging is obviously
Mechanized.
So there is a portion in between. There is one portion which has to be, which is done exactly the way it should have been done, as laid down in the books. Well, the getting into the rural market was a very conscious decision taken by the company at whenever the point of time it was taken, because people actually didn't go to the rural markets, and they were lying vacant. And after all, half of India stays in the rural India, and they also need medicines, they also fall ill. So it is very easy to sell medicines in the urban market. It's so much easier, to find your channel partners and so on and so forth to sell here.
Absolutely.
But to get somebody there, you have to actually reach the last person yourself. So it is a little expensive process, but at the same point in time, it's a long-lasting process. You've been there and you are there with them. They will never forget you. Well, that is something which has been a conscious kind of a decision, which has been, just there. Because for fun, one believes in, growth with everybody, inclusive growth. I want everybody
inclusive growth. That's an interesting
word. I grow, everybody else should also grow. Like, for example, there is this one joke. This one CEO bought this new Mercedes, and his staff came up to him and told him, "Sir, congratulations, you bought a new Mercedes." He said, "Just keep working hard. Next year I'll buy another one." So that's not my thing. I don't want a Mercedes, but I want everybody else to also have a car along with me. And so inclusive growth is the main strategy which has been there. And plus, at the same point of time, well, in the corporate world, the top line, the bottom line, and all these things are the key factors,
Of course.
Where we are.
Right.
In our scenario, like we say, we don't really look at those. We know that will come. That will happen if you are looking at your customer, at your product, compassion. It will work. आप किसी को ठीक करोगे तो वो ठीक होगा, तो he has to come back to you again and again and again, and also ask somebody else also to go there only. I have this belief, very strongly I believe in this, that every person who is working for me has brains, and we are not utilizing those brains because we think that we have more. So we are only dictating to them कि आपको ये करना है, आपको ये करना है, आप कैसे. Never asking them कि आपको करना होता तो कैसे करना. No, I have mentored a few startups. The difference between what I have been propagating and what has been happening in the current world right now is, the difference is that today you are getting a lot of funding from outside. The guys who I have mentored are the ones who have actually, worked hard themselves and, saved up some money to start their own ventures, or borrowed money from their family and friends and then decided to work on that. So at the end of the day, they have to show results. And the ones who are getting funded from outside, they don't have to show any. They are not showing any results. Let's not say they don't have to. The main thing is that you must know you must be passionate about what you are planning to do. Unless until you are not, you will not be able to achieve the goals that you want. And then you have to, at the end of the day, ensure that you make some money out of it. You're not doing it for the heck of it. There has to be some purpose behind it.
Right.
Besides, you must know the product, you must know the line that you are getting into, you should be passionate. I mentor only this category of people who are passionate about what they're planning to do, They know that they have to succeed. They have brought in the money from, in a tough way, and they know that we have to return it back, or at least earn it back. So I want to mentor those kind of people. Philanthropic ventures have been part of our family culture from the very beginning, and this Naini jail is a very interesting thing which happened. Naini jail, as you know, is a central jail which has some 8,000 inmates in it, and so the in charge of the jail, he requested me that since they don't have a budget for Ayurvedic medicines or an Ayurvedic doctor to visit them, he wanted me to do it for them free of cost.
Wow, okay.
So we went and opened a small clinic there, and we were going there once a week and seeing all the patients, giving them a prescription, treat n number of patients. That one day that my people used to go there, and the other funny part is that it is not even covered under the CSR Act. CSR also says that this is a promotional activity and not a philanthropic activity. So this is purely from the pocket. Well, one of them is we are involved with the dairy project, and we have only desi cows, which nobody wants to keep anymore in today's day and time, because desi cows don't give that much of milk, but probably the least amount of milk among any variety of cows or buffaloes.
I see.
So we keep them, but they have the best quality of milk, and that is what is recommended for making the medicines. We use milk in making medicines. Milk, dahi, ghee, paneer, everything is used. Mattha, everything is used in the manufacturing process. But that must be made from ghee, milk procured from a desi cow. Besides that, we run temples. We have a temple in Allahabad, three temples in Allahabad that we are running, and we have in Patna, we have in Calcutta, we have in our village in Rajasthan where we belong to. That is a very famous one. There are a lot of following. So we have that, and then we have dharamshalas also, and plus schools.
Schools, yes, I was coming to that, yes.
Plus schools. We have schools. The main one is the one again in our village only, which is free of cost. All education in that school is free.
Wow.
Now the requirement is changing. A, it was Hindi medium, B, it was free. Today people want CBSE English medium. So we have to rejig the whole thing. But as of now, we're running a Hindi medium, free of cost school. I'm a little passionate about education, and I try to help out anybody who I possibly can to give him any financial help by and large. But before doing that, what I always do is that I must interview the person for whom financial help is being sought, and judge for myself whether this guy is worth paying the money for or not. Well, during COVID time, we were very fortunate that since we make medicines, we were one of those few industries which were told to keep running.
Of course.
So we kept running, but then we had issues in terms of getting raw material and all those things. So we had to work towards trying to make ourselves self-reliant in terms of our raw material also. So we did go towards trying to do our own plantations and organic plantations, because we are very particular about quality.
Of course.
So we made a foray into that, and that will, I think, continue. That was in a good way. It started because of COVID. Well, we have invested in a few industries over a period of time. Like, for example, we have invested in presses in a very big way.
Presses?
Printing press. Printing press, because we started by, there was printing your own labels and all that, but today it's a huge industry. We are doing books and calendars and all these things and everything. So that is a very big industry. and also a very profitable one. Then dairy we have already talked about. Then there is one new venture that we have just started. It's called Says Agro. Now, Says Agro is a very interesting project that Government of India had only two kinds had rices. They've branded all the rice in the country. Either you are a basmati or you are a non-basmati.
Okay.
There is no third category, given by the government. But we, thanks to Says Agro and some other people's efforts also, not only ours, that we have managed to tell the government that there is another category of rice which is probably more healthy, more nutritious, even good for people who got diabetes and all that, and that should be now categorized. We in Uttar Pradesh, there is a rice called Kala Namak. It's almost like a fortified rice. If you want to make sticky rice like you do in Thai food,
right,
it comes out beautifully with that.
Okay.
It is very low on sugar. It's amazing for people who got diabetes and all that, and it has now been categorized as like a ODOP product. It's got GI tagging by the government.
Oh wow! Okay.
So we are now trying to probably market it as Kala Namak itself, in small packets and noting down all the nutritional values of that product. Yeah, of course. When you're interacting with young people, you learn a lot from them, because after all, we are also aging and, we have our own very set ideas by now. This is how things should be done. But suddenly when you meet these new guys, not only they have new ideas, they have new tools, which we have never used.
Yes.
And, you try to learn, at least try and imbibe them and, get them to be used. And so it's always good to interact with the younger people. हमारे यहाँ खरल यूज होती है. You must have seen that. ऐसे वो जो चलाते हैं, बसम चला देते हैं. Now that खरल has been mechanized.
Oh, okay.
It moves like this, but it has to be made out of that stone, which comes only from Bihar. So keep innovating as far as, because you cannot do it by hand anymore.
Right.
You have to mechanize it. Well, like I had mentioned earlier also that I always encourage people to, come up and give their inputs and their, what they think of how this certain work has to be done, rather than trying to impose upon them that this work has to be done the way I want it to be done. So and that is one thing. Second is, it is very important that you make that person feel that he is part of the organization. जैसे हम लोग क्या कहते हैं ना, हम लोग क्या उसको कहते हैं परिवार, that you are part of the Baidyanath परिवार. So परिवार तब बनता है when his wife, his children, everybody starts feeling that no, I am part of this organization. Well, humility is one thing.
Of course.
One has to be that always face. And second is that like in terms of work ethics, I always believe in inclusive growth, and one should also always try to do that. There is a book also by one author. He's an Indian, but he has an English name. I am forgetting the name. He's written a beautiful book on inclusive growth, and he has come to Allahabad and given me that book himself.
How lovely! I'm sure he's had a lot to learn from you as well.
He is ex-ITC, that gentleman. And ITC has no plant in Allahabad, but he had met me somewhere. So that's the key thing. Humility, I think, is the biggest.